Well, do hackers have your financial information from Equifax? You know, like your credit card info, mortgage data, social security number, and basically everything they need to clean you out. Many folks tonight are scrambling to try and protect themselves in the wake of the data company's massive security breach. Equifax, you know, saying its chief information officer and chief security officer, well, they're retiring after those hackers were able to get in and get social security numbers, birth dates, and other information of 143 million Americans. You know, that's roughly half the entire U.S. population, which I guess means the odds are that could include you. So, how do we protect ourselves? Gene Marks is here, CPA at the Marks Group and columnist at the Washington Post, to tell us what we can do. Hey, Gene. I mean, you know, a lot of friends are out there. I mean, they're really concerned about this. Can you first explain what Equifax does and how the hackers grab? What do they get, and how can they get into our financial stuff?
Sure. Very quickly, Eric. So Equifax is a credit bureau, and what they do is they collect a lot of information voluntarily. I mean, they share information with banks and credit card services and large vendors like cable companies and utilities that all come into creating our credit score. Like, how good a risk are we if a bank wants to lend to us, or in a business case, if businesses want to do business together. So Equifax is one of three big credit bureaus that are out there. It's Equifax is one, TransUnion is another, and Experian. Those are like the three big players in that field. So they keep a lot of personal data about you and me.
And so these hackers, I mean, do we know who they are? They got into this information, or they got all this, all our personal information?
No.
Okay.
No, not yet. I mean, unfortunately, Equifax's controls were pretty terrible. And, you know, Eric, what we're telling our clients to do, you know, I was doing this over the weekend. You have to take a deep breath. You can't get angry. Okay. We're going to let Congress and the Federal Trade Commission deal with them. What we have to do as consumers is we have to take certain steps, like right now, to protect ourselves. So let me offer you some of these steps, if that's okay. There's a great website that Equifax set up. Well, I don't want to say great, but very important website, and it's called EquifaxSecurity2017.com.
All right, we're putting it up there on the screen. EquifaxSecurity2017.com. You go on that, and then what?
Here's what happens. So it's going to ask you, first of all, for your last name and the last 6 digits of your Social Security number, and it will tell you if you have been affected by this data breach. And like you said earlier, with 143 million people affected, chances are you probably are. So if you are affected, Equifax will then say that they can offer you what they call a credit protection and a credit monitoring service. It's free, and particularly it's free if you sign up for it before November 4th, where you're going to have to give some information about yourself. Unfortunately, they're asking again for some private information, Eric. Like, they're going to ask you for your Social Security number again, as well as your address and your birthday, which people get very nervous about. But our recommendation to clients is give them that information.
And what is this? What do they do with this?
It'll do two things. First of all, it will freeze your credit account. It will actually lock it, not freeze it, which means that anybody that's applying for credit and wants to use your information to apply for a loan or a credit card for themselves, they won't be allowed to do that because your account has been locked. That's number one. Number two, it'll offer a credit monitoring service. So that way, if there's anything funny or unusual going on with your credit cards, with your bank accounts, they're monitoring that information for you, and you will get an alert about it. We're recommending to our clients as well, go to TransUnion or go to Experian, their competitors. It's another $20 a month if you can afford it. It's good assurance to try and do it with them as well. Sign up for their services just as an extra sort of level of insurance to do.
But do that right away. One is TransUnion, and how do you spell the other one?
The other one is Experian, which is EXPERIAN, correct? Okay. That is the other large credit union service, right? Credit bureau service. So you want to do that right away, Eric, and that's because right now your information is out there and it's exposed. It's not 100% protection for you, but it will certainly give you some advanced warning. Now, I have some other advice for you, please. Go through your credit card statements, like right now. Go through your bank statements and try to get in the habit, Eric. We got to do this at least once a week. If, you know, every 10 days, we should be looking at the transactions going through our accounts. If you see anything funny at all, notify your credit bureau, notify your bank about that so that they can switch you off and you can get some protection.
Yeah, make sure no one bought a sofa for me in the Eastern Europe or something on the credit card.
It's very frustrating, isn't it? We're being made to do all this extra work because of a security breach that these guys caused.
Yeah.
But like I said, Eric, take a deep breath.
All right.
We got to do what we got to do and move on.
All right, Gene, good. Let's put that up, the number up again, or the site is Equifax Security 2017. Equifax Security 2017. Go on that, and at least you can start protecting yourself and check your financial statements. Gene Marks of the Marks Group. Good to see you. Thank you. Laura?
Thanks, Eric. Take care.